when we're live, and then I think we're live. Hi everyone, my name is Jeff from DoraHacks, and welcome to the third and final demo session for the Injective Quadratic funding round. I'll be your moderator for today, and we're thrilled to bring you the collaboration between Injective, DoraHacks, and Dora Factory for the first ever quadratic round for the Injective ecosystem community. The Injective Illuminate Hackathon we hosted a few months back was a standout event with a 100 credit prize pool and had more than 100 plus BUIDLs submitted, providing an unforgettable experience for passionate Injective ecosystem builders. We hope to continue to build on the success and support the developers by shortlisting 10 great teams from the Injective Illuminate Hackathon, along with some other early stage ecosystem projects, which are all eligible to be voted to receive a share of the magic pool and community contributions. Participating will be a great opportunity for you as a token holder and a community member to have a vote in which projects you want to see receive a bigger portion of the 1,500 Injective token matching pool, which is helped sponsored by the Dora Factory public goods staking node that we help run. The quadratic funding round is to provide long-term support for important projects and the funding that they need. Together with developers and contributors, we look forward to building an innovative, sustainable, and robust community involved in the Injective ecosystem. So today with us, we have 4 great projects: Aeroscraper, Griffin, Tokenized Interchain Accounts, and Chain Defender. They will help present a short demo of the projects and share information about what they're building and their strategies going forward. The quadratic funding round started a couple days ago, and voting is open until April 8th. I think it's a fantastic opportunity to interact with these applications, see what these teams are building in the Injective ecosystem, and participate by voting for the projects you are interested in as well. If you have any questions for the teams presenting today, feel free to comment in the Binance live chat or the YouTube chat rooms, and I'll help relay them to the teams as we go on. So without further ado, let's welcome the first team, Aeroscraper. Thank you.
Hello everyone, it's nice to be here. I'm Sadis from the Aeroscraper team. I'm a co-founder of the Aeroscraper and the lead designer of it. So let me share my screen. Okay. I think everything is okay, right?
Yes, we can see everything so far.
Great. So Aeroscraper is a decentralized lending borrowing platform. Users can deposit collateral and mint stablecoin, which is AUSD. Sorry. Yeah. Aeroscraper, the collateral lending means the stable borrowing. Aeroscraper is a user-centric decentralized lending borrowing protocol that revolutionized the DeFi space with its interest-free, over-collateralized stablecoin and DeFi loans. This fully automated and governance-free protocol enables unauthorized lending and borrowing, empowering users with autonomy and direct transactions. By depositing collateral, users can access loans in stablecoins pegged to US dollar, all without incurring any interest. Instead, Aeroscraper charges a one-time fee, eliminating the complexities of variables, interest rates. With its innovative approach, Aeroscraper enhances the user's experience, promotes financial inclusion, and represents the future of the decentralized finance. This is the first screen you see when you first enter to Aeroscraper. You can connect your wallet with the Connect Wallet button and start creating your first roll. You can choose the wallet you want to use here. You can use all wallets such as MetaMask, Kepler, and Ninja Wallet, which are widely used in the Injective ecosystem in Aeroscraper. You can use them too. To create your first row, simply specify how much Injective you want to collateralize and how much AUSD you want to borrow. RScrapple will show you everything you need to know about, such as the collateral ratio, how much management fee you will pay, and your total debt. If everything is okay, just press the confirm button. After creating your first row, you can manage your collateral amount here at the same page. Determine the amount of collateral you want to deposit or withdraw and press the button. RScrapple will handle everything automatically for you. If you also want to borrow more AUSD and your collateral also is suitable, you can do so here. Or if you want to pay your AUSD debt, you're in the right place too. You can do it at the same page. You can earn injective rewards from the liquiditors by staking your AUSD in the stability pool. Staking AUSD to the stability pool increase your pool share and earns more rewards from the liquiditors. Withdrawing AUSD from the stability pool will reduce your pool share. This means you will receive fewer rewards from the liquiditors. We have come to the place where arbitrage takes place. You can convert your AUSD to injective at any time in the redeem section. On RScraper, one AUSD always equals to one USD. Therefore, you can arbitrage via redeem module. You can also liquidate withdrawals with low collateral ratio here and participate in the stability mechanism of the AUSD. You can collect your injective rewards from the liquid throws here in the reward section. Remember, the reward you earn is directly proportional to your pool share in the stability pool. Also, you can climb the ranks within the Discover community by completing simple task missions in the leaderboards and the missions sections in our protocol. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lotus. Yeah, appreciate that depth, presentation about, Aeroscraper and what you guys are doing, and what you guys are building. So I have a few questions for you, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So what was like the motivation for you guys building Aeroscraper, and how do you differentiate yourself from traditional DeFi lending protocols, would you say?
The motivation behind it is actually the passion. When we start building our scraper like 1 year ago with our team, and it's actually at the first place I'm kind of opposed of it, but it's have some kind of different magic in it, and users also love it, and it's a great motivation for us. The difference between the other DeFi protocols with us is, I guess, we are really enjoying when we build our scraper and doing something with it. So the biggest difference is, I guess, this. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, you kind of cut out a little bit there, but I think yeah, if you could repeat, your answer that you had for us, that'd be great if you could do that for us.
Okay, from the beginning or
No,
the
just the
last?
second question on how you differentiate yourself from traditional DeFi
Uh,
lending protocols.
we are really enjoying when we doing something with related to our scrapers, designing it or doing some integrations, etc. So the main difference between the other DeFi protocols with us, the passion, and it's kind of joy for us for building it. So it's like that, yeah.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much, for the presentation and, answering the questions. We really appreciate it. And Just following to the next project, we have Griffin, Kane from Griffin, who is here to present and talk more about and demonstrate and share more a little bit about what he's building and what he's trying to accomplish.
Hey, what's going on? This is Kane Larpo from Griffin. Let me try and how do I share my screen here, actually? Oh, I see it. Ah. So this is Kane Larpo from Griffin. Uh, so I'm going to share my screen. Let me know we can see everything. Cool. So we got that going on. So essentially with us, we are essentially we're representing an innovative protocol, essentially seamlessly integrating an LSD and a stablecoin, so a CDP component into its framework. So think Jito plus DAI seamlessly integrated under one roof. To our goal is to serve the injective ecosystem as well as the greater Cosmos verse. So as essentially the pioneering stablecoin protocol on Injective. We've already built some significant traction, so a growing user base, as well as some solid TVL. A little background on the team. So we're essentially powered by a team of, I guess, seasoned experts with experience both in Web3 as well as Web2. This includes some notable Web3 affiliations such as Immunify, Colony, Teller, and some Web2, including Deloitte, NASA, and MasterCard, and a few more. So right now, hopefully testnet is, behaving for us today. So here's essentially the product on testnet. Actually, within the next few weeks, we're undergoing a full rebrand. So what you see here is going to be completely different, as well as the layout in the next few weeks. So just quickly here, in terms of this, is pretty much your homepage of your value on the right in terms of what you have currently within the protocol, and then the left, which is the total value within the full protocol itself. So moving into some of the tabs, let me get into this one first. Actually, not this one. Sorry. Deposits, which is the one that everybody is most familiar with. This part is currently live. This is the liquid staking part of Griffin. This one's currently live on mainnet right now. And so this is basically the place where you stake your injective, or in this case, your blue or your asset that you want to stake. So in this case, for example, if you're getting into INJ, you want to stake your INJ, you can stake it and mint NINJ. So in this case, right now, this is pretty much the only thing you can do aside from adding it into an existing LP. And we have an existing LP currently live on Black Panther. So this is the first stage. So our second stage that we want to release is essentially this whole stable coin. It's called NUSD on this testnet, but we've actually renamed that to IUSD. So you can, think about the I in terms of how you want it, either injective USD or intelligent USD. Either or, works. So essentially, what we plan to do is to be able for you guys to be able to think of it as like the CDP side of DAI. We're being able to take your NINJ, stake it, and be able to mint, collateralize your NINJ and be able to mint IUSD. So even though it says NUSD, I'm going to call it IUSD. So in this case, here would be the mechanism here. So being able to deposit your NINJ, and then based on the amount that's being deposited, you can mint IUSD. And then with IUSD, a lot of the questions that we get asked is, what can you do with IUSD? So with IUSD, you can do it with use it as you would like a normal stable coin. So either buying more stables, purchasing other assets, re-leveraging that, however you want to do. So again, with a normal CDP, as you mint your IUSD and you use it and you withdraw it, you also have to repay that IUSD lest you get, liquidated. So that's essentially, that whole IUSD in a short summary. Ideally, what we have here is being able to stake your IUSD into the Griffin platform to earn a reward. So, this is just a sample APY, so don't really look too deeply into it. But essentially, what you'll be able to do is, if you didn't want to do anything else with it, but you just want to stake it for additional rewards, you can stake it into the platform. However, you can also do use it as collateral to borrow as well. So I don't know, this hasn't really been loading all day. So I'll kind of just, if it loads, it loads. If not, but basically here you'd be able to collateralize different types of assets, including your including like your NINJ, as well as any other blue chip assets that are being staked within the protocol. So you can stake, so you can take those staked assets, be able to collateralize them, and essentially be able to borrow additional assets and other things as well. So that's really Griffin quickly in a nutshell. Happy to answer any questions. Always open to having a discussion. And yeah, it's a quick demo.
Thank you, Kane. We appreciate that. Demo is very in-depth, and I felt like we learned a lot from that. So just two questions that I have for you is that, do you guys have a timeline for NUSD or, the IUSD that you were talking about, and when those are projected to come out?
Yeah, of course. So March and April are going to be very busy for us. So right now we're undergoing a rebrand. So there's going to be a new UI and UX on the product, brand new. So all of this is just the old stuff. So it's a little bit not very, it's okay, but it's not like the most, it doesn't like pique a lot of people's interest. It's not beautiful that we say, but so that's coming out. That's going to be out in March. We'll have an updated landing page. As far as IUSD is concerned, the goal is to get this out before the end of March. So we're pretty much in the last final stages. This is going to be, it's going over its last review and security review and last check. And, our goal is to get this out before the end of March. And that's the timeline we're trying to stick to.
Nice. Okay, great. We're looking for that timeline, and we're looking for the projects coming out. And also, so just more into your project, like what kind of outlooks do you have on the whole entire like stablecoin, thesis that's going on, and like building a stablecoin protocol on Injective as well? What's your whole entire outlook and perspective?
I think it's pretty bullish in my opinion. I mean, we've done some initial market research, and there's a lot of problems that we're trying to solve. So a few of them, for example, are a lot of these stablecoins are centralized with a lack of transparency. Sometimes there's some liquidity issues during periods of high demand, and also sometimes a lack of scalability. So one of the things that we've been trying to do is create something that was has a low volatility, that's capital efficient, has a price stability, as well as that CDP side of it. So essentially, our rollout is really to have as many assets as we can to be able to collateralize their assets to mint IUSD. So in terms of any of the go-to-market and rollout, a lot of that is going to be a collaboration with a lot of the our partners within Injective, the DeFi protocols, and then also, when we branch into it, also some of our NFT partners as well.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much for like the in-depth overview of your project and going over, the whole entire demonstration and presentation as well. And thank you for answering the questions as well. Make sure you guys check out Griffin as well. Yeah, thank you so much, Kane. Yeah, well, it was a pleasure talking to you as well. And we're going to head over to the next project, token chain accounts. Sardar will be presenting for us today. So yeah, without further ado.
So hi everyone, I'm Sardar. I'm currently the product engineer in the IBC team. And let's get into this. So I'll share my screen quickly. Okay, so this all started with me initially developing So this all started with me initially developing the CosmWasm ICA controller contract, which was essentially a way for CosmWasm contracts to be able to control other accounts on other chains. natively using IBC. So this is using the interchain accounts protocol, and essentially contracts can control other accounts on other chains as if they were like native accounts. So and I developed this completely for different reasons initially, but once I developed it, I realized there was a lot of potential to combine this with DeFi. And at that time, the Injective Illuminate hackathon was coming up. So I decided maybe I can build something interesting with this. So that's where tokenized interchain accounts comes in. Sorry, maybe my screen share has paused. Okay. Yeah, so that's where tokenized interchain accounts comes in. Tokenized interchain accounts is a protocol where each NFT controls an account on another chain. And this allows for a very unique DeFi experiences where accounts themselves become part of the DeFi. And that's really the goal here. So this is essentially another account abstraction and even a chain abstraction protocol where now you can use accounts themselves as collateral, or you can trade accounts on NFT marketplaces. And if the account is eligible for like an airdrop, then you could also auction that before the airdrop actually comes out. Well, if the account is eligible. So yeah, I'll do a quick demo. So basically during the Illuminate hackathon, I created a proof of concept for this and approached it more like a research. And yeah, so if I can quickly demo this application, I will get into what are the plans for the future. So you can see that I already have an interchain account here. That's an NFT. I'm just going to mint another one to demonstrate it. While this is running, a relayer must be running in the background, of course. So let's just do this. So so the NFT is being minted. It takes some time because each time a new interchain account is created, there needs to be a handshake between the source chain, which is Injective, and in this case, Injective testnet, and the counterparty chain, which is the Cosmos testnet. Because it's on a testnet, and I'm only running sort of one relayer with some unstable RPC endpoints, it takes a little bit longer than it should on a mainnet situation. It should take a few minutes. Okay, you can see that a new interchain account was minted. If we click into this, you can see that the address on the counterparty chain is written here. You can view it on MintScan. It's an account just like any other account. And if you look into this, yeah, you should see that there is zero balance. And that's because we haven't funded the wallet yet. So let's just do that. So let's just fund this using another interchain account. This interchain account actually has some balance already. So if you go into here, we should see that it has like 3 atom, right? Yeah, it has 3 atoms. So I'm gonna be funding the new wallet here. So let's say I'm gonna do I'm gonna do a normal send to the address of the new interchain account, and the amount I'm gonna send is, let's say, 1 atom. So it should be 6 zeros. Yeah. And the denom is UAtom. So the user experience for this is not ideal yet, and that's sort of one of the things that needs to be fleshed out before it can go into production. And I will get into what we need to do to put this into production after the demo. So let's just sign this. And again, this will also take some time because what's happening here is, again, it's sending an IBC packet. It needs to be relayed to the other chain, and then an acknowledgement needs to come back. Yeah. you can see that one item actually already left this wallet. Yeah, and this transaction is now approved. So if you refresh the interchain accounts mint scan, we should see that it has one atom. Okay, well, these are also NFTs, not just accounts. So I can actually transfer this account that I just created to another wallet. So I will just go ahead and do that. I'll transfer this to my second wallet in Injective. So this is my second wallet address. And let's just say I'm just going to transfer this. So just a standard NFT transfer. It's completely CW721 compliant. Okay, now the NFT is gone. Let's go to the other wallet. Quickly refresh the page. And you can see that the account is here. You can also take very complicated actions with these. So it's not just like basic transactions. You could even execute WASM transactions here. And essentially any custom message that the other chain has, you can also execute that. And this works for all IBC chains, not just Cosmos Hub. The reason I chose Cosmos Hub was to show that Cosmos Hub doesn't even have smart contracts. So the other chain doesn't even need to have smart contracts for this to work. So that's it for the demo. And I'll quickly just 1 minute talk about what we need to do to get this into production. As I said, I approached this as a research project, so I wanted to make sure that this was possible and everything was working as expected. Once I verified that, then there was obviously interest for me to launch this. However, I have not. I just developed this solo in the past, and I don't have experience launching Cosmos dApps. So I partnered with Trivium Node, so they have several products on different chains using Cosmos. And we will be improving the user experience and launching this once some of the other commitments they have are done, which should be sometime starting in the first 2 weeks of the next month. Yeah. So thanks for listening, and that's it for the demo.
Thank you, Sadar, for the instructional video on how to go through the whole entire process and make different tokenized accounts. It was very interesting. Kind of just going on and asking questions about like the application use cases. So like how do you guys solve the limitations that are faced by the existing cross-chain DeFi infrastructure, and what kind of new possibilities does that create, and what kind of opportunities does that unlock for decentralized finance apps?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And yeah, the reason why I was able to do that is because the initial contract that I wrote, which is CWSA controller, really does actually solve some of the limitations that the traditional Go API for interchain accounts has, which is that when you make interchain account transactions, that the smart contracts don't get any callbacks, and that sort of makes it quite unusable in many chains. Some chains have their own bindings like Neutron, but most native Cosmos chains don't have these. So what we essentially needed to do to solve that challenge was to implement ICS27, which is the interchain accounts protocol, in Cosmos purely. And if you go into the GitHub repos that are in the build page, you will see that that's exactly what we did. So we've completely implemented ICS27 from scratch in Cosmos. So what that enables is essentially now contracts can control, like this is a free infrastructure apart from tokenized interchain accounts. Any contract can control any account on IBC chains now. So, and then get callbacks for their responses. So if there's an error in the transaction, then the contract will know. If it's successful, then the contract will also know that. So this opens up many possibilities, specifically for tokenized interchain accounts. Though I think the possibilities that it opens are more about like account abstraction and chain abstraction, which are becoming very popular lately. So basically, for me, the most exciting part of the possibilities is using accounts as a part of the DeFi, and not just something you own. You can actually trade them and use them as collateral. So that, to me, that is the most exciting part of it. But certainly there are other privacy applications and other applications you can have too.
Right. Thank you so much for the great explanation and the whole entire demo session. We really appreciate it, and we're looking forward to what's going to be built next with you guys. So just moving forward to our next project that we have for today for our demo session is Chain Defender. We have John. Please introduce yourself, your project, and your demo session as well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is John, and I'm sharing Chain Defender for today. So let's see. I'll go through a few slides and then I'll show some results on what I'm working and go through kind of like a Sardar, like when to expect it and like how to use it. So Chain Defender, I'm building AI tools to find and fix vulnerabilities. And the idea is that it's 10 times faster and at least 10 times cheaper than traditional audits. And the problems I'm trying to tackle are some that I faced at Stargaze for 2 years, and then on Terra Luna writing contracts there. So it's basically hard to build Web3 products, and it's even harder to build secure ones. And we all see there's like billions hacked every year. And the idea is to introduce tooling to make Web3 development as easy as Web2. So the goals are to basically find these problems earlier and then have vulnerability reports instead of months. You can get them in hours. So as soon as you make a new like feature and you create that pull request, you can just start getting a vulnerability report right then. So the general overall idea is to lower security costs and allow more people to launch stuff on mainnet and get more secure code onto mainnet. So I've been programming for quite a long time, doing smart contracts for like 3 years now. And yeah, basically I'm just looking for developer teams to try this stuff out. So like the Griffin team, it seems like they're doing DeFi stuff and they're going through security reviews. So it might be like an interesting kind of thing to just like test this out on their code. So what I did was just run this on Injective Labs swap contract. And they just like made some updates last month. And it works pretty well for single contract applications. For multiple contracts, there's a lot more interaction, so it gets a lot more complicated. So going into the results, basically, I view this as a UX wrapper for a lot of stuff that's happening in the background. So this is basically the result of hundreds of different prompts and like teasing out the information, putting it together, and this is the result. So you get this summary of potential vulnerabilities, and I could go through all of these, but like then I would probably be over time. But yeah, definitely let me know if you're interested in talking more about this. Just like message me on Twitter, like yeah, or like wherever. Just like find me somewhere, and then yeah, we can definitely talk more about this. So some of the interesting things, like insufficient input validation. So if you, and I'll just go through like a couple examples just to show you. So in this validation, oh, actually, maybe I should go through this. So in this validation, there's actually no like validation for the address or the contract address. So when you're updating the admin or when you're instantiating it, you can actually end up like locking yourself out of this contract. And funny enough, in this contract, there's a validate in here, but it actually doesn't do anything. It just returns an okay response. Where is it? Like, yeah, like right here, it just returns an okay response, and like, yeah, that it doesn't really do anything. So that's like, you know, probably not what it should be called. And if you keep going there, it even goes into different types of suggestions like unchecked state modification, different types of bounds problems, dependency, lack of events. So this is more like a problem for indexers to catch like certain types of things like, oh, admin change. Maybe that's an important one. And then even just like lack of slippage when you're doing swaps. So it goes through a lot of different types of concerns. Some of them are real. Some of them it might be handled somewhere else, like maybe in the Go module for like price checking, for instance. So maybe this is not like a real vulnerability when you look at the Go module part. So I view it as like a helper, as something to make pull requests go faster, and then like get more code into users' hands. And so to get this into production, so this I'm doing this through a series of workflow scripts right now. And I have a GitHub app that's built partially, but it's not production ready. So I think like early April, mid-April, this should be ready to use. But before that time, you can just hit me up and I'll run this stuff on your code, no problem. And
Awesome.
that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, John, for, allowing everyone to reach out to you. But feel free to reach out to any of these projects as well, on their Twitter, on their main website. You could also check them out on DoraHacks.io. Send us an email, send us a message through Discord to reach out to any of these projects that you want to, get into contact with. But yeah, I know you kind of touched on this a little bit, John, but I know the security market is ever changing, and there's different kinds of breaches that goes on. So what kind of strategies do you guys employ to ensure that there's continuous improvement and scalability in your security solutions?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So let me tell you where we're at right now. So roughly it detects like between 30 and 50% of vulnerabilities. How I test that is looking at a code base and then running it through the workflow system and then comparing it to different audit reports and just going side by side, seeing what it caught, what it didn't. So I think that might actually be the gold standard. And then how to improve it is a much more complicated, harder question. But if you take a step back, you're basically like, how is security solved right now? Like you're throwing bodies at the problem. Like you're doing multiple audits, you're doing bug bounties, like community crowdsourcing. So I mean, it's like reasonably effective, but you can still see audited contracts get owned too. So I view this approach as slightly different. It's more like throwing compute at the problem, and we have a lot of compute. So like maybe Injective, they really want to secure their swap contract. So they throw like, I don't know, like $100,000 or $1 million in compute, right? But then like someone who just won a hackathon, maybe they don't have funding yet. They're willing to throw in like a couple $100, a couple $1,000, and just get it secure enough for mainnet. And then further down the line, maybe they can secure it even further, right? So to answer your question though, it's like an ongoing research question. There's a lot of stuff happening in AI, as you know, and this is just basically applying the latest research into production and behind the scenes so that developers don't have to like, read like 10 papers a week to figure out what's going on.
Got it. Yeah, definitely. That makes sense. Thank you for, the answer on that question. I definitely see the application for it and, the use cases in the future. And we're definitely looking forward to, the whole entire development process and, the overall results of it as well. So thank you again, John, for, your time today and your presentation. So without, in conclusion, I think we've finished up with the 4 projects. So thank you, everyone. And with that, we'll conclude our demo session. We want to give a special thank you to Aeroscraper, Griffin, Tokenized Interchain, and Chain Defender for participating and sharing with the community what they're building and their strategies and, what they're looking to do in the future. I think it was really insightful to get a deeper understanding on what everyone is building. For the audience watching today, please interact with these projects. I know John, he gave a special shout out to, invite his community to contact him. But I think all the projects that were in the demo session today are kind of on the same page as well. They would love for you guys to interact with them, test out the product, chat with the founders, connect via any like Telegram, Discord, any type of communication mediums that they have access to, which all can be found on the Injective grant page that we have on the DoraHacks website. So I know they would love to have you as part of this community and to hear your feedback directly from the users and the people that are using their projects and the community itself. So I think feedback is important and they would love for you guys to be a part of it. So this whole entire voting round for Injective does close on the 8th of April. So we do have a couple weeks left. Please make sure, to review all the projects that we have on the Injective Hackathon list. We have 10 projects currently going on. So I think, to review these projects, make sure you vote for your favorite ones. It could result in some of the voters and you especially getting some additional benefits further down the line for participating and voting in this community funding round. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone once again. And I think we're going to start heading off here. So thanks again for watching. And another really big special thank you to the teams today and looking forward to, the community votes and the ongoing session. Thank you. See you next time.